There are a lot of brawlers that are carried by their supers, and one of them is Lily. She has the shortest range in the game and the super allows her to close the distance. So what better way to master her than doing so without clicking that yellow button once. This push starts at 176 mastery points and 239 trophies. I decided to play showdown for once and the opponents were not the greatest. My plan was to fight as much as possible and I was already tempted to use my super. This was really hard to resist because it's a muscle memory that I had to fight against throughout this whole push. Luckily there are other ways I could get into some action, which was by running around the middle, but most importantly by using that broken gadget. It allowed me to win my very first game and the next one really tested my patience. That Gale is so lucky I can super him. Seconds later I had to fight this Melody, which got me slightly annoyed. Nah, how did I just not kill him? Now I had a bigger challenge to overcome, which was a 10 cube shade. I firstly tried to do some gadget play, but it just didn't work. But then we are in the mid. Okay, that's 2 hits. Bro, that actually scared me. Let's get the shade. Very nice. Picking up that girl was not as much of a struggle, and in the next games I was still learning how to use my gadget efficiently. It has a long cooldown and wasting it is not ideal. Bushes however were much easier to get value from and I was able to get a lot of wins thanks to them. Some people though were checking them, making it really hard to do anything. This still didn't stop me from making progress and I quickly reached bronze 1 mastery. As I was climbing through lower ranks I also found another problem, which is tank counters. There is just no way I could win against them, but that's a problem for later. I was able to get to rank 25 and that's when I found this Primo. That super was bad in itself, but missing Primo attacks from up close is just a different level of throwing. I still don't know how that's even possible. After that I was trying to learn how far I can go with the gadget. It wasn't really anything crazy, but most of the time just enough to move from one bush to another. Being unpredictable was still something I had to work on, but I managed to get to bronze 2 mastery while building up a very nice win streak. I was yet to lose a game and it didn't change for a while. I was building it up quite quickly, but it wasn't easy. After doing this nice play and somehow surviving a Shelly from close range, it didn't matter because these guys were teaming. Shameless behavior for 700 trophies. Teaming still didn't stop me from hitting bronze 3 and from here I had a lot of close games. I'm dead. Oh my god, how did I live here? Chuck, please get the Shelly. Easy cleanup.
Nope.
Wait. Please. Oof, so lucky. Is it even winnable? Oh, she threw so hard, bro. What a rank up game that was. And my luck didn't stop there. After running away from this dog, I found the third guy who was AFK, so I was able to clean him up, which got me top 2. This game got me to 50 win streak, so my goal was to get to 69, but it was quickly over. After getting to rank 45, I lost my first game. I was a bit sad about that, but to be honest, it was just my fault. I decided to fight for the middle every game, and this shade just played better than me. However, this playstyle was much more fun. Having the most cubes in a game felt really satisfying, and I could take pretty much any fight I wanted. I was able to two-tap pretty much anyone, and while not being able to use my super here was annoying, I still had the gadget to be able to do anything. I'm not really a showdown player, but games like these made me really enjoy this game mode. This win got me to silver 1 mastery, and I was already quite close to max rank, and a few minutes later I was 1 game away. Gadget. Okay, let's hope he won't expect that. No. Luckily, shortly after that I got a second chance. Not another BB, bro. Nah, I'm not risking it. Thanks for the cube, I guess. Bro, what? What happened to the nanny? Holy Frank super. And he did nothing, wow. Bro, if only I could super. Oh, he's coming for me. What is that jump? I have to run from this bastard, bro. I think I'm good now. There is no way he's still chasing me, bro. I think I have to move now. Please, no Shelly. Okay, we good. This bastard is not real. Stop following me. Nice 2 taps. Let's finish him now. Frank. Good boy. Let's grief Buster. I don't know what to do, bro. Run. Nice cancel. And he's finally dead, bro. Actually, what do I do now? Bro, like I'm just getting teamed on. And that's finally max rank. Nice. Oh, I forgot about that. That is so satisfying. From this point I still stuck to showdown, but it got much harder. People were playing a lot smarter and I couldn't close the distance to them. Also, I was getting chased around a lot more and it was annoying because I have no response to that. All I could do was run away and hope to surprise someone else. Also, people were now playing meta brawlers, which really isn't good against, and getting teamed on was much more common. At this point I was really tired, so after hitting silver 2 I decided to end the day here. On day 2 I decided to play some free and this was a massive change. Compared to showdown, there is action going on pretty much all the time and you have to fight pretty much non-stop. In my very first game I was already seeing the problems with not using my super. Getting close to my enemies was really hard and the gadget being available about every 3 business days just wasn't enough. Maybe losing to a Mr. P Porter wasn't my brightest moment. Like how, bro? But we won this game after getting a bit lucky. Nah, that's so lucky. From here I realized that the gadget might not be enough to carry me, so I had to focus more on my movement. At first it wasn't easy, but as I was playing more, I was getting better at it. Oh my god, I might be Tensai. Okay, maybe not. Honestly, playing this brawler even without the super was really satisfying. The star power was really helpful in a lot of situations and I was winning a lot of games. The Mortis randoms, however, like, oh my, why would you fight with gems? Just to keep my mental up, I swapped to heist and this felt like cheating. Every game I would just straight line to the vault and try to get as much pressure as possible. Lily maybe doesn't have insane damage, but her reload speed is insane. It was more than enough to win games and without realizing it, I got to 1150 trophies. Something that was really confusing to me was the amount of Mortis players in heist. I have played against a lot of them and they were annoying because Mortis actually counters me. Bro, like why is there a Mortis? Anyways, these creatures didn't stop me from hitting silver 3, but I still lost to a different Mortis. Bro, and I lost to a Mortis, fantastic. Anyways, I felt like playing heist was not a challenge, so I went back to gem grab and this was an experience of all time. Mortis throwing a game was not that revolutionary, but a double throw is kinda crazy. Then I had this game where my aura won it. The guy thought I was gonna super him crying emoji. Then I had a chance to play with a cursed dynamite, but I don't think that's how cursed accounts work. Also, you're kinda supposed to be decent at the brawler, but that's a different topic. Nice stats by the way. Anyways, shortly after that I had a crazy game. What is that super Mortis? What? How does that hit me? Mortis? Okay, nice. Ems, please do something. I love Ems. Never mind, I hate Ems so much. If you lose this, I'm uninstalling. Of course he gets the bomb. Wait, how are we winning? Ems, bro, like... Nah, we can't lose this. Oh my days, this game is too much for me. That's finally a win, jeez man. How did I get star player with no super? Stressful games didn't end here and I had to dodge this call for 8 seconds straight. Luckily though, people with this skin have no hands. As you can see, I was getting quite good at playing with no super. The movement was looking tough, but I also found a weird interaction. Me and the Fang were trading in every fight, which I found kinda funny. As you have seen, I have won quite a lot of games. So surely I pushed a lot of trophies? Absolutely not. After this generational throw, I went on a losing streak and I was down about 100 trophies. The matchmaking was a bit weird to be fair. Whenever I was playing against a full team, I knew the game would be sweaty and I could forget about winning. Sometimes, however, I had a few nice clutches. That has to work. Nice. Melody. Holy, I'm crazy bro, like... Mortis? Okay, he got us. So we ended up winning this game, which finally got me to the Mastery Cup for the day. Day 3 was the weirdest Brawl Stars session I had in a while. Firstly, I changed the mode to Brawl Ball and it was so chaotic. The constant action was too much for a Lily with just a gadget and the dynamic jumping all over me was annoying. Bro, like this guy is Thanos or something. Killing him was also getting me a bit too hype. Yeah, you are not jumping now, you monkey. Seriously though, if a dynamic knows how to jump, it's one of the most annoying things ever. Along the way, I was also getting very lucky. Oh, it's over. Nah, I'm crazy. Overall, this was a decent first game and after winning it, I had a crazy idea. After 2 whole days of playing, I realized I could hit the super button out of my screen. I know, I am a genius, I know. This wasn't really a huge change, but for some reason, it made me win more games. I don't know how that exactly worked, but I was actually playing much better. Maybe it was because of me using gadget at the start for some pressure. I'm not really sure, but scoring goals was so easy for me and wins were just flowing in. I was even getting star player and because of that I hit gold 1 mastery. However, this is when I started playing against a lot of teams. If the players were decent, it was near impossible for me to break through no matter what I tried. It honestly felt like I was being bullied. I actually couldn't move for the whole game, which resulted in these stats. It ain't easy, man. But for something bad, it has to equalize somehow. Oh my, what a save. It also wouldn't be an after video without servers breaking for no reason. Fortunately, I still scored and that's how this game started. Fix your servers. Also, someone needs to fix brains of random players. They just aren't working. Unfortunately, I doubt Mortis randoms are saveable and from here the games didn't get any easier. As I said before, playing against teams isn't enjoyable and I just don't know since when people are playing ladder like it's a world finals game. I swear it's not that serious. Maybe having a teammate would help, but that's about how this day went. It was really hard to win consistently and Mortis players were getting on my nerves. I can't do anything, bro. But at least I still had some crazy games. Holy, what a dodge. Maybe I can predict her? Nice. I'm going in. Bang. Bang. Can I get the Mandy? Ah, lucky. We win anyways, let's go. And that's finally the Mastery Cup. I am going to bed. Day 4 of course brought in a new mode to play and the knockout turned out to be extremely good. It was really easy for me to sneak up on my enemies and I had no problems with finishing off the kills. The first game went so well that I even got a star player, so I just kept on playing and I had a lot of clean plays along the way. I'ma go for Dyna. What, I might be the greatest. Bro, he's gonna eliminate himself. Mate, what am I actually playing? So yeah, the opponents were a bit slow, but still doing that with no super isn't easy. And from here I was abusing this broken strat in every game and it was surprisingly working really well. Unless I did it for the second time in a row. Also, that speedster power was able to carry me countless times. I don't think this push would even be possible without it. It made closing the distance to enemies much more doable, but there was one thing I couldn't stand. Of course it's the kid strat, bro. You're both so talented, oh my god. Just, we can run in a straight line, like, we get it. Despite slightly losing my mind, we of course went on to lose this game, and the next games were also slightly triggering. Nah, it's just a mortis every time, like, this game however had a crazy ending. This is actually worth finals. I can't even get it because if I leave them it's over. Nah, I'm gone, never mind. I'm dead now. Wait, I'm crazy.
Oh my god.
Kind of a crazy game to get me to gold to mastery, and from here this push was interesting. Nah, I actually can't kill him. Like, what am I playing, man? Like, he's just 1k kill, 1k kill, 1k kill. Like, Fortunately though, kill players are a bit slow. And this is what I'm losing to, nice. I really don't know what it is, but this strategy just gets the worst out of me. Like, you can't tell me this is fun to play. Anyways, we fortunately still won this game, which got me a bit excited. Nah, how do you even lose that? Shortly after that, I played probably the weirdest game ever. I was genuinely so confused what rank I was playing on, and the fact that this max rank gameplay is so funny. My teammates were still somehow even worse, and the stats were actually so weird, just like in this game. Or this one. Also, shout out to this Mandy. But anyways, in a random game, my teammates finally blamed me for something. It's kinda crazy, it took 4 days for someone to get angry that I'm not using my super. It was a good sign that someone has emotions while playing ladder and that it wasn't just me. Miko? But like, you can't tell me this isn't on purpose. Oh my days, how do you even miss an Eve pet? Piper summed it up quite well, and fortunately after a few more wins I finally hit the mastery cap. Nice, I can get off the game. On day 5 I went for some bounty and the strategy was similar to the one in knockout and it was working flawlessly. If there was a thrower in any team I had a field day. Nah, I actually kinda feel bad. Tick, where are you going? This guy still thinks he has a chance, crying emoji. Oh wait, nah, we good. No way it works again. And now we run, this has to be illegal. Edgar, the games overall were going quite smoothly. If I had a decent matchup, I was actually able to do a bit unless my teammates were absolutely useless. What are these stats? However, I had some luck with my randoms that day. Not every day you get a Mortis mate that does stuff like this. However, a few games later I had this Mr. P. Shooting teammates in the first seconds of the game is a bit weird, but doing so after dying every single time is pure cringe. After getting these stats, he decided to add me and I thought he was a viewer or something, but he was actually mad over a 1k trophy game in 2025. I wish I had this much passion for this game. Anyways, I was now back to normal teammates and this quick super was just crazy. However, I also had some throws thanks to not being able to use my super. Like, just looking at that hurts my soul and the ending of this game was depressing. How did we lose that? My mates also seemed to have reaction time of a turtle, however this Brock thought he was in a movie. Like, where is he going? I also had some Mortis randoms which broke physics. How does one dash through an enemy? If it wasn't about randoms, games most of the time had insanely close endings and this one was so lucky. Anyways, after a few wins, I was finally one game away from gold 3 Lily. Let's obviously gadget at the start. Okay, there is a Mortis. Oh, hello Dynamite. Now I can get the Mandy. Nice. Bro, this gadget cooldown is so annoying. She probably got super. Oh, nice dash. Now let's just gadget. Not the Dyna again. Oh my god, I'm crazy. No way Dyna falls for that again. No man, I actually feel bad now. Mandy maybe? Holy, what a dodge. Wait, I might be tensai. Let's go, what a game. That's some decent stats. And there it is, gold 3 Lily. So let's claim the title now, which means I'm now a busting backstabber. I forgot to change my name, I'm sorry. Anyways, if you like this video, then you will like this one. Click here to watch that.